Good afternoon, everyone. It is 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and that means it's time for another edition of Automotive Training News. I'm your host, Brandon Hardison, and we do this every Wednesday live, hoping to give you, a sales consultant or service people at times, managers at times, BDC people at times, everything you need to do to be successful. Because I know for a fact, and you should know, people are going to buy cars. It's who they're going to buy them from. So I try to bring in some experts while my class is still taking a break. So we have only about 20 minutes or so, but we are very honored today, all the way from the Windy City. Some people call it America's second city. We have the man who created Velko Academy, none other than Velko Tuhchiev. Tuhchiev. I messed it up, right?
That's right.
Is it Tuhchiev?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, we got it.
Just I go by Velko, kind of like Seal and Madonna, and
One word wonder. I like that. You
yep,
got it out
one
there.
word.
Yeah, beautiful.
Just
Just Velko.
call me the professional problem solver.
Oh, I love that even better. I'll take that. Hey, tell you what, while we only got a little bit of time, that 30,000 foot view, how about tell us about yourself, how you got into the business and the whole 9 yards?
How I got into the car business?
Uh-huh.
So I was in the hospitality business before. I was bartending and waiting tables for about 8 years. I started at a very early age, maybe 14, and then 22 or 23. After so many people in the bars and the restaurants encouraging me to get into sales, whatever it is, but just to get into sales, I joined the car business. Um,
Huh.
Fun fact is, I applied to about 20 places before I get hired, and I saw an ad that hired salespeople with no experience. It was the only ad back then,
Right.
and it was the Ziegler organization. So I started selling cars there in 2007. I sold cars for about 7 years. I
Okay.
sold about 3,000 cars in
Wow.
7 years,
You.
and the first 2 years I was a transactional salesperson. So I was very competitive, very hungry, driven, and after that I just burned out. I had very strong competition, and I had a shift in my mindset. So I read a few books on relationships, and I
Right.
decided to invest in my existing clients, the people who already liked me, trusted me, and really were raving fans in the community for me. So I really emphasized on building my relationships with them and refreshing the relationships with everyone who purchased the car from me. And I
Mm-hmm.
literally invested all my energy and time to figure out how to build a plan of clients that respect my time, value my expertise, and actually show up to the appointments that we set. And the next 5 years of my career, I spent building my pipeline. And in the last 3 years of my career, I consistently earned multiple six figures, selling minimum 40 cars a month, working 100% with repeat and referral clients or self-generated leads, and working only 4 days a week by appointment only. So
Outstanding.
during COVID, I wasn't selling cars. I started my company, Velko Academy, in 2015.
Okay.
And, during COVID, I was thinking if I was selling cars right now, I wouldn't change one thing because I was already working by appointment only, 100% by referrals. I had very strong relationship with my clients, so I knew what their situation was. And I believe now salespeople are conditioned to be a version of what I did in the car business.
Outstanding. Now, if I was listening right, I heard that catering business.
Yeah,
Now that's to me, in my opinion, because I used to do a little DJing for wedding receptions and whatnot. That's a lot tougher to me. And here's where I'm going, Velko. America has a love affair with cars. They're gonna buy a car. I don't know about you. I see two, three, four cars in a driveway. Don't know what's in their house as far as furniture, but we love our cars. But what salespeople don't understand is what you just said. Let me listen so they like, trust, respect me as a professional. And then this way, if I take copious notes and stay on top of them with follow up and get a following, you just roll that and continue to roll it. And you did well with that. So thank you for sharing that. So now we heard 2015, that's when the academy. So what is the mission or what makes your academy different than other training companies?
Well, most of the training companies out there are really transactional oriented. So what they do is they teach salespeople how to handle objections, how to do presentations, how to do the things that salespeople really minimize. So the leadership team also calls those things the basics. So they believe that only new salespeople need to be trained for a few weeks in the beginning, and they should be now ready to go. So we're not a sales training company. Training is a dirty word in our business for some reason. The leaders and the dealers in our business, in our industry, definitely send their kids on basketball training practices, baseball training practices. They probably, some of them train their dogs. They pay for people to train their dogs, but
Yes.
they don't see value in training the very engine of cash flow that they have in their business, which is their salespeople. So training is a very dirty word. Everyone is allergic to that word. So we are empowerment agency that empowers salespeople and enables them to become salespeople. So one of the things that makes us unique is that we don't just teach sales. First, we believe that most salespeople have, especially in our industry, most salespeople have a personal problem. They are stuck because of mental baggage, because of limited mindset, because of self sabotage, and that self sabotage comes either because of uh, perfectionism or comparing or the hero to zero
Yes.
aspect of our industry, and also because of relationship problems, because of the long hours, addiction problems with drugs and alcohol, and just kind of like the thick skin aspect of our business. Really, not a lot of people can keep up with. That's why the turnover is so huge, and we really are the only academy in USA and in the
Mhm.
auto industry specifically that teaches life skills. We actually help salespeople to eliminate addictions, to fight with depression, with anxiety, with fear,
Wow.
and self-sabotage, and eliminate that for good. And a lot of times we see spike in their performance without even touching their sales skills. We fix
Right, right.
the person first, and then their sales just skyrocket. Besides that, we are not really focused on teaching specific process similar to Joe Verdi and some of the other trainers out there that have their own steps to the sale and things like that.
Right.
We think that that's way outdated. We kind of followed the approach that I used in my career to help salespeople build their pipeline of clients. So we're more of a marketing training rather than sales training. We teach
Ah,
salespeople how to prospect, how to build a powerful brand so they could become Googleable and
yeah.
they could sell through reputation. Because if you take all the objections, if you go to your class right now and you ask all the salespeople, give me every objection you've heard, and maybe
Right,
they're going to come up with a list. I think we had a class that we came up with like 16 or 20 objections. That's the most I've seen. And
right.
then if we group those objections into different groups, we'll probably come up with 5 or 6 groups like timing, decision making, things like that. And then when we really analyze those groups, we're going to come up with 2 main objections. And those main objections are not you I don't trust you, or not now. There's lack of
Mhm.
urgency. So when you build a powerful brand, you eliminate that reputation problem, right? So you can just tell people, you know what, why don't you Google me and see if we're good fit or not? See what people are saying about me. I don't want to come off as a salesperson. I don't want to try to persuade you to make any decisions here. Look up my
Mhm.
reputation, see if we're a good fit. And
Beautiful.
that way you can sell with confidence, which is the number one emotion buyers are looking for. They want to work with
Mhm.
someone who can solve their problems.
That's
So
it.
on the other end, we help them, besides building a powerful brand, to be unique and creative in the marketplace, and also to connect with businesses and get free money to pass on to their clients, so they could be also most profitable. So we teach salespeople how to literally cherry pick their clients, build a dream client that they want to serve with pleasure, and they would go above and beyond, get paid exactly what they want and what they feel they deserve, and to focus on serving those clients that offer them pleasure of performing at their job. So sales, obviously, we also teach them a process that allows them to offer clients alternatives and to really qualify buyers in a very pleasant way while they're becoming their friend, their advisor. We teach a proactive approach,
Okay.
which we
Okay.
call educational selling. So
All right.
we take all the fears the buyer has and we proactively bring him out first. And that way the buyer feels safe with us and they feel that they're dealing with professional. So our sales process guarantees no discount. We're allergic to discount. We get
Beautiful.
pimples on very inconvenient spots when we give discount.
I love it. I love it. Now, here's what and thank you for sharing that. But here's a couple of good things that I got from that. In a sense, you're like a good HR department because if you have some baggage, like you had said, addiction or whatever, let's just address that
Yeah.
and get you stronger with self confidence so you can be listening to what Velko Academy can offer you and the guests that you will be representing. And I like that cherry picking. I don't have to take anybody out there. I'm a
Yeah.
professional. I'm going to get the best of the best and work with it. That is outstanding. That is beautiful. Now, I know that if they go to your website, they can understand more of what we were just talking about and what you shared.
Yeah,
Our
VelcoAcademy.com.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this while we still have time. Uh, in these crazy times that we're going through, if we look at the sales consultants, we know that they got to step up their game somehow to get the customers because customers are scared to come in. Maybe we don't have the digital presence on our website. You already talked about leaving the brick and mortar and going out, making relationships. I even heard you say something about having someone else sponsor and pay for that. I mean, it's a lot
That's
of
right.
things. So here's my question. What would be one step that's been consistent that you can share with some of the salespeople every time that people come to your academy? Now they go out. Is there one consistent step for somebody who feels like they're frustrated and want to get out of automotive sales that you can offer them? Just one thing.
I'm sorry, you were breaking up. They want
Oh,
to
I'm
get out
sorry.
of what?
If they want to get out of the business because they said with this current COVID going on, they're not making any money, right?
Hmm.
Because our dealership's website is not digital. I can't get nobody. There's no traditional up bus coming anymore. Any one thing that you can share with them in these crazy times to make them feel like, yeah, I can still make money in this game.
Yeah, I think that salespeople, it's time for salespeople to really take responsibility for the profession they have, because we are going to lose. Like right now, my daughter is 9, so she's doing the remote learning, and teachers have definitely shot themselves in the foot because they're trying to do this. They insist to do the remote learning in our state, and we don't think it's necessary because of the whole thing. But let's not get into that.
Right.
And they're not very efficient. They're not really helping the process, and eventually parents would catch on and they will be like, why do we even go through this? This is waste of our time. It's a distraction, really. this person is not helping me out to have an easier experience, to have a more efficient experience. He's not helping me to learn anything, and he's not helping me to. And I don't feel that I'm really working with an expert here, right? And I don't think that this experience is good. So that's how I feel. If it's just a matter of time until the school system collapse and until the way people buy things collapse, in an era where we're used to one swipe purchase with Amazon. It shouldn't
Right.
take 4 hours to buy a car, and the only reason why it takes 4 hours to buy a car is really old, rusty mindset. So if salespeople don't take responsibility and really build themselves as irreplaceable, as
Mm.
someone who offers experience that no one else can match, someone who's offering a fast process, efficient process, something that's actually making it easier for the buyer in every aspect, where the buyer doesn't have to do anything, just to
True.
hand you the money. And if salespeople are not experts in communication in today's world, because we don't just have the telephones, look how the telephones look like in today's world, right? So
Right.
just phone calls are outdated. If people are not on social media, if they're not dominating social selling, if they don't have followers and build their own tribe, they're not going to survive. See, the way power has been distributed for thousands of years is through passing on the energy, passing on the power, right? So the king
Mm.
would pass on the power to the prince, and then so forth and so forth. Right now, social media changed the game. For first time in history of our existence, you could create and build momentum and create your own power and influence. So the more exposure you have on social media, the more you show yourself on social media, regardless of what kind of content you're offering, the more influence you have, because more people are seeing you every day. Sooner or later, they're going to start listening to you.
Right.
Even if they hate you, they're gonna be like, "Oh, come on! I want to see why this guy keeps showing up here. This annoying dude. Why does he keep showing up?" And because they hate you now, they're investing time in telling you how much they hate you. But they're investing time with you, and you become part of their life. So the more influential you are, and whether they like it or not, you influence their day a little bit, whether it's in a
Yeah.
negative or positive way. You are part of their life. So the more
Right.
influential you are, the more powerful you become. The more powerful you are. Uh, Obviously, the more things are in your control. So salespeople need to dominate social. Salespeople need to figure out, how do I build my tribe? How do I build clients who would be loyal to me and would
Mm.
go out of their way to work for me and to be my soldiers in the community, and to recommend people and endorse me out there, and to trust me, to have such a strong relationship with me, so they want me to thrive. And how do I build reciprocity with those people, so they continue to invest in me and I continue to invest in them, to grow this fire.
Right.
Any person with transactional mindset is not going to survive. It's just
Mm.
like a criminal who's hoping not to get caught in the middle of the day with all this surveillance, trying to
Yeah.
rob
Yeah.
a,
Right.
a restaurant or something like
Right.
that. Like, there's
Right. Right.
15
Right.
cameras with 4K quality that are videotaping you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's salespeople who are hoping on ups by the door and are blaming their management team for improper
Everything.
spending on the marketing or for digital.
Yep.
It's not digital marketing. Nothing is going to trick today's buyer. Today's buyer is solely focused on experience. They have all the pricing, they have all the information that you have as a salesperson, and then some. And they have some
Mhm.
fake news as well to deal with too, that you need to overcome. So it's not about the information anymore. We don't have any leverage as far as information. We don't have any leverage as far as pricing or service. We can't trick the buyer anymore. So
Correct.
we need to. It's time to build real relationships. It's time for the real ones to come up on the surface and to replace the old ones. So the way I see the future of the car business is, salespeople and dealerships are going to continue to grow. Dealerships are continuing to grow with relational salespeople only. So maybe not right away, but 5 years from now, you're going to walk into a 200-300 car dealership, and there's going to be only five salespeople there. And they're going to have
Mm.
50-60 clients that buy from them each month. So you're going to have five monster salespeople that have their own assistants, their own marketing, their own clientele,
Mhm.
and they're almost like mini franchise at the dealership. And
Ah.
and they're partners with the dealership, and they bring
Yes.
their own clients and they follow, kind of like the real estate model. A broker
Hmm.
has five
Correct.
five real estate agents, and he doesn't spend money for their he doesn't go out there to find clients for them. He's not like, hey, I got leads for you. No, you survive on your own. You
Yep.
spend your own money on ties, you spend your own money on your billboards, you spend your own money on, you figure out how to be more creative than the other guy. And that's why I have huge respect for those real estate agents that invest in themselves, because they, number one, have to renew their license every year, so it's a real profession. Car
Yeah.
guys don't have to renew license in Chicago, at least. I know in some states they do, but
Right.
we give the job too easy, and we have a lot of users. Because we're so desperate for help, we have a lot of users that come in and check out the car business and ruin the reputation.
You got
And
it.
those
No.
people are they're not going to survive, because they're not
No.
adding value to the industry. So they don't need to be fired by the management team, they're going to be fired by the clients
There you
eventually.
go.
Eventually they're going to be like, dealerships are going to continue to move towards gross pay plans, because right now COVID confused a little bit, uh, confused the dealers a little bit. There's a natural demand of buyers, so they
Hmm.
thought, wow, we're good, man, we're good,
Yeah.
we're selling a
Yeah.
lot of cars,
Yeah.
we're making a lot of money on each car, so we're very good, it's just we're talented. But that's not the case.
Ah, ah, no, you're right. And I
Absolutely.
like what you said, because you said it a couple of times, and I hope somebody was listening. You said that whether they like you or not, they're going to Google you.
That's right.
Google. So if these so-called professionals that come into the industry, and I'm just going by my words if I heard you, and just repeating it because you say something different and somebody else may get it there. I'm in a dealership, so my cubicle, my office, my working space is my own. That's my own business.
That's right.
The dealer gave me the product, gave me the sources to operate, but I need to find my way to tell my story, and I still should be successful. Outstanding with that. So I have to get ready to go back. I thank you for your time because my students are standing next to me. But professional problem solver, what is the best way, or is Velko, is that the best way to get you at the academy, or is there another way that somebody can find out more about
Yeah,
what?
if you go to velcoacademy.com, you can get links to everything that we offer. For
Okay.
salespeople specifically, we have a very special syndicate that we help very, very motivated and committed salespeople who want to dominate social selling and build a pipeline of powerful dream clients, and salespeople who want to sell by repeat and referral only. We have a syndicate called Velko.Ninja. That's the address, Velko.Ninja. So it's called the Ninja Syndicate.
Right.
So apply. The application is free, so you can apply for the syndicate. And the address is Velko.Ninja.
Love it. Love it. Well, I have to run. I do thank you for your time. People that are watching, I hope you got something out of it. If you need to watch this again, it will be there. If you need to reach out to the professional problem solver, he's convinced me. He's given you more than one different way of how to look at this. But with that said, as always, in parting, this is Brandon Hardison for Automotive Training News. As always, you go out and you make it a champion day.